The High Elf is an awesome specialist in magic in Sacred 2, so we're going to go over my early game build that will allow you big AoE damage like that. We can also throw out solo target fireballs that will replenish very quickly, as you can see there, as well as drop meteorites from the sky like this. And as you can see, it just takes enemies out. So let's go over the build. We're going over the items, combat tutorial, and we'll go over the combat arts. Okay, when it comes to attributes, there are a couple I'm really focused on. Intelligence being obviously the key one. This will affect your weapon damage, your combat art damage, and your spell intensity. I've also been taking dexterity for attack value and defense value. You don't really get much armor in this game, so to protect ourselves as much as possible, dexterity for that defense value is so helpful. We've also put a little bit into vitality, just to get that hit point total up, because you can be very squishy, especially early game. When it comes to skills, I've taken a few, but there are two key ones I'm focusing on. That is the Errant Pyromancy Law. As you see at next level, we gain plus 87.3% damage, chance for critical hits plus 7.7%, and execution speed plus 17.4%. After this, we went with this Mystic Stormite Law. This is currently level 25 too, and at next level, as you can see, plus 87.3% damage, plus 7.7% chance for crit hits, and plus 17.4% execution speed. These are the same. Now these are my two main sort of spell schools. Pyromancer obviously being the fire ones, and the Stormite being the freeze ones. And then it's taken a little bit of playing around, but I have been taking the Errant Pyromancy Focus just to help out with the high skill levels without penalty, as well as the regeneration time. Now you do start the game with a dagger, and you can kind of play this two ways. If you want to go sword and board, you can. That's in my second weapon slot. Put a few points into here. You can also go with magic staffs, which I think would work really well on PC. On console, unfortunately, you just constantly miss because you can't really click on enemies, or you start targeting random people. It's kind of a ball ache, I won't lie. We've also put a couple of points into the Mystic Stormite Focus, but again, I would focus just on the Errant for now, or the Stormite, depending on which one you prefer. But when it comes to the lore, bump both of these up. Now when it comes to inventory, there have been a few things I've focused on. It has been things that improve my items I'm using, or my attributes, as well as defense value, attack value, spell intensity. So as you can see with the helm here, the regeneration penalty is nice and low. Chance to fear opponents away, plus 3.5%, useful for keeping enemies away. And plus 2 to sword weapons if you want to go sword and board. For the sort of chest wear, I guess, Raging Nimbus is one of the spells I'm taking. This gives us plus 2 and it has high armor. For a waistband, as you can see, Incendiary Shower, another one of the abilities we're using, plus 2. Spell resistance, plus 2. Regeneration time, more importantly, minus 8.2%. When it comes to the wristbands, again, attack value plus 9.6%, plus 15% magic, and a plus 3.5% burn chance. For gloves, attack value and defense value both at plus 12 with low regeneration penalty. For leggings, again, defense value helping us just survive as much as possible with low regeneration penalty. And then for the boots, attack value plus 10%. When it comes to rings, as you can see here, plus 7.2% spell intensity, attack value and defense value of plus 3 each. Again, plus 2 attack and plus 2 defense value here. And then again, starting the game with sword weapons, so this is what I've got. I would switch this out once I find a better ring though. And then for amulets, magic damage over time minus 5.5%, and experience per kill plus 3%. Again, I would swap this out for something else. For your attack value, spell intensity honestly would be really useful. Reason I have this is just to get to level 25 ASAP to get this video out. When it comes to a staff, I have gone with the Ceremonial Staff. Cobalt Strike with plus 2, Pacifism plus 3, but the most important, high damage, minus 8% regeneration time, keeping those spells nice and low. Okay, when it comes to your key skills, the first one I've taken is the Ancestral Fireball. As you can see, this is 632 damage, regeneration time of only 5.8 seconds. For power up, I've gone with Explosion, so fireballs inflict area effect damage on nearby opponents. Globe, the fireball increases in power and inflicts more damage. And then Hot Pursuit, this is probably the most key one, especially on console. It will now follow the target so you can miss a lot less. After this, I went with Incendiary Shower, and you can see 274 damage, regeneration time of 12.2%. 12.2 seconds, 11 meteors though. Upon level up, Magma Ray increases the fire damage of the meteors. We went with Continuance, prolongs the duration. And then finally, Copious Shower. The meteors rain down faster with shortened intervals. The quicker they get down, the more damage we can do in a fast amount of time. And then in the Mystic Stormite, Glacial Thorns was my first one here. I really like this, it's an AoE, throw these out in front of you like an arc. For power-ups we took Frost, so increases the damage inflicted by each frozen thorn. Pierce, chance that thorns will continue to spear forward after hitting a target. And then finally, Fullest Blade, increase the number of throws and thorns, so we now throw more out. As you can see, 75 and 111 damage over time. And then for the passive, we've gone with Crystal Skin. Now, this will improve your armor rating and resistance against spells, and increases the regeneration time of all combat arts within the Mystic Stormite while the buff is active. Now, Glacial Mirror is the first power up we took here, increases the chance to reflect incoming magical effects. And Feel Cold reduces the opponent's resistance to ice damage. Okay, let's check this out. We will start with our big old fireball, so let's find an enemy. And there you go. I absolutely torched them in one hit. Next up, we'll grab a group. We've got these guys here. And let's do our fireballs. And there you go, you see you can absolutely melt them. Now let's get our passive going. This will reduce our cooldown and make these guys less resistant to ice, and as you can see, we can just absolutely go through them, hopefully take him out. And then finally we have our next AoE, so if I find another group, here we go, let's get this going, and there we go. Now, as you can see, lots of decent damage, and again, making enemies close, we can just swipe through them like this, and while we have this passive going, we obviously have the better armor. So this is a really awesome build. You can one-shot enemies like that. You have your AoEs that can do mass damage, and you can just keep buffing yourself. So really hope this early game build for the High Elf helps. If it does, please drop us a like, it helps me tremendously. If you're new and you haven't subscribed but you'd like to, that'd also be amazing. I have more guides to Sacred 2 Remaster, Baldur's Gate 3, Dragon Age, Elden Ring, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, Elden Ring Night Rain. Basically all the amazing RPGs you could ever need. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.